A high-ranking Portuguese banker-cum-fugitive who was arrested in South Africa late last year has died in custody before he could be extradited. Joao Rendeiro, a former chairperson of the Portuguese Private Bank, fled his home country last year after he was convicted of graft charges relating to the collapse of the bank. He was subsequently arrested by Interpol in Durban and was due to appear in court today for an extradition hearing. For more on this, we speak to the spokesperson of Correctional Services, Singabakho Nxumalo. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. What do we know about the circumstances that led to his death? Some reports suggest he was hung or he hung himself.
A very good afternoon. We come to you with very painful news. The unfortunate passing of remand detainee Joao Rendeiro. He was remanded in one of our facilities in Durban, usually called Durban Westville Correctional Center. He was discovered just before midnight last night by our officials. They then reported the incident. I can also state that it was by hanging, but we are still investigating the circumstances around that. Yeah, it is unfortunate, and we have informed various authorities about this particular matter. As you've stated, that he was due to appear in court today in relation to the matter for his extradition back to the country of origin.
Given that he was a fugitive from the law or fugitive from justice, of what consequence is his death in a South African prison cell for the country or for your department?
His country of origin, his family, including our own authorities, deserve to know fully what really happened. The circumstances are leading to his death. Hence, we have launched an investigation to that effect. Up until we have that report, we'll know exactly what may have happened. But the body was discovered, and as I've stated, is that the cause is by hanging. So as a department, it's important, therefore, that we run a full-scale investigation so that we can establish other material facts surrounding the death of this remand detainee.
What kind of person was he? What kind of mental state was he in? What kind of emotional state was he in?
Unfortunately, I'm unable to say much on those particular aspects, except to say he was classified as someone of high risk, therefore meaning he was being monitored, and that how we've kept him there. Officials made a point that from time to time they do make a turn to check on his well-being. There's been quite a lot of interest from international media wanting to interview him, even being interested in touring the cell, because some were worried, or they were saying a whole lot of things about the conditions. But we did confirm that no, he was kept in a safe place, meaning that even the conditions were convenient for any other inmate to live in. It is therefore unfortunate that he decided to do what he did. It's something that will not just take it as granted. Hence, it's important that we do investigate so that we can establish more if there are other material facts related to his passing.
Is there a suspicion that foul play could, possibly be, or are you suspecting foul play?
Not at this stage, but any unnatural death warrants that an investigation be conducted. So as a department, we don't want to speculate. Hence, we said, let us investigate the matter, get to establish the facts. Then, based on that, we'll be in a better position to give a detailed report to its country of origin, to its family, and other members, even our own citizens, deserve to know what really happened there. So as a department, we're committed in terms of running with that investigation, and it is a matter that has also been reported to the South African Police Service, because they also have a duty to make a determination and be convinced that there was no foul play. So they will also be running with their own investigation. Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services will also conduct its own investigation, as that is required by law. As a department, it is therefore important that we leave no stone unturned in making sure that everything is brought to the fore.
Are you getting interest from international media, as you did before this, right? So when he was arrested and brought to prison, you indicated that you got a lot of international attention in terms of media that wanted to know, the kind of conditions that he was kept in. So in light of his death, what kind of spotlight has this shown on the country?
It became very clear to us when he was remanded that we're dealing with someone of interest in his country of origin, because there were those requests. Some even tried things that we've never seen in South Africa, people pretending to be family members, friends, because they wanted to get access to him at all costs. But as a department, we managed to deal with that successfully. And as someone of interest, his protection was also critical to us, hence we couldn't take any chances. This also talks to the manner in which he was looked after. Hence, it does disappoint us that he could use whatever opportunity that he got, and I wouldn't want to repeat what really happened there, but the cause of death by now is by hanging. So as a department, it's something that does disturb us, and we look at various measures to say what is it that we can do so that inmates or remand detainees find it impossible to take their lives. Hence, we even look at even the type of medication that they take to avoid cases of overdose, or using the material that we give them, such as linen, in committing some of the acts which are totally not allowed. So as a department, it's an ongoing struggle to say how best can we prevent inmates from either harming themselves or their peers, so that at the end of the day, we do not report such fatal cases. So we continue to work also with our partners, but what is key at this stage is to give a detailed report to his country of origin, to his family, and other offices of authority that definitely will have interest, so that we're able to account in terms of how he was kept, and all the way leading to his last moment with the Department of Correctional Services.
Mr. Nxumalo, on your point of the protection of prisoners, it's Mr. Joao today. Yesterday, it was the so-called Facebook rapist who was found in his cell, charred to death as he burned within that cell, and he was the only person in that cell. So as a department, do you have maybe statistics that speak to just how many people who are imprisoned end up perishing, and under what circumstances? I guess maybe just to paint a picture of just how concerning this issue is for you as a department.
I was looking for that information because we're at the end of our financial year. That information is being tallied, but the numbers have been coming down over the years. But that does not give us any comfort as a department, because any death is just one too many. We have to avoid people harming themselves or taking their own lives. I guess there is nothing much we can do in terms of natural causes, but unnatural cases, there is so much interest in terms of the type of measures that we can put in place. But it is also critical that when you put those measures in place, you don't infringe on people's rights, because if people are allowed to smoke, how do you stop someone from having a matches in his possession? So these are some of the things that we have to navigate to say, as we put these measures, but to also, protect, their rights at the same time. So as a department, we are looking closely to say what other countries are utilizing the technologies which are available, so that we limit as much as possible any cases where people find it possible to take their own lives. So as a department, we are not taking this lightly. We are looking at various measures so that at some stage we'll be in a case where we record no cases in terms of unnatural deaths, but it's something that will require inmates to assist us to that effect. Hence, we have social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists who do assist us in terms of conducting those assessments, so that when we pick up that someone could be of danger to himself, they then intervene on time.
Nxumalo speaks for the department.